Good morning. Let's ignore how rough I look. I have spent the last week moving, as you can see, a bunch of boxes. Today we are tackling this. I have two other bookshelves besides that one. So I think I'm going to split it up to that big bookshelf is going to be my read books. This bookshelf right here is going to be my TBR, I think. And then I have a bookshelf in my other room. And I think that's going to be all my special editions or collectors. First things first, need to make coffee. Trusty coffee machine. Bulgars, because I'm basic and this is good. This is what I grew up drinking, so this is what I drink still. I just scoop until it feels right. This is what we're working with. There's a lot of books. Might as well get started. I think I'm gonna alphabetize books by their author. My old apartment, I didn't have it split up because I had one bookshelf and then I just had all my other books were just on the floor. So we're splitting this up and I'm gonna make 3 piles. Read, to be read, special editions. It's my helper today. I have a feeling that most of my books are going to be on the TBR side because I get sent ARCs, but I'm such a mood reader. I do try to get to it before it's released. I also have trinkets, like these bookshelf stoppers and some statues that I'm going to be putting on this shelf specifically because this one is out in my living room and the other 2 are in my bedroom and my office. So this one is going to be the prettiest one. And this one is going to be my read one. So when people are over, they can talk to me about the books I have read and not the ones that I haven't read. I really need to read the My Brilliant Friend quartet. It's been on my TBR for a really long time and I thrifted all of the books, which I'm very proud of myself for doing that. Secret History. Most of my special editions are just the Secret History special editions. Should I put this one on my red shelf? Adult Children of Emotionally Immature Parents. And I also have these 2 coffee table books. I do have a coffee table, but I just don't feel like having coffee table books on the coffee table, so I'm not sure really what I'm gonna do with those. I tried to read this book, Don't Be a Stranger, and I was not vibing with it, but I'm gonna keep it on my to-be-read shelf in case I do vibe with it. I try to stick to a list of books that I want to read, but a lot of times it does not work like that. I also tried to read Mother in the Dark and the same thing happened, so I'm gonna try to pick this back up eventually. I'm not sure when though. And this one I got sent, I was very excited to receive. I've honestly been seeing a lot of mixed reviews about it, where people are saying it was not good or too gossipy. Also, did anyone see that the sequel to Bunny is coming out? There's ARCs being released. So jealous of everyone who got one. Do these count as a special edition? Wait. I only only have these two with the people covers. I've been on my thrift hunt to find the rest of them, but I haven't. I have the true covers, the one with the like hands and the apple. I have that. So I think I'm gonna leave the poster editions with the special editions. I also have this, which has a little frame from the movie. It is from when Bella and Jacob are riding the motorcycles. It's Jacob riding the motorcycle. I don't know if I can get it to focus. You can kind of see it there. I read Blue Sisters and I didn't like the writing, so I'm not sure if I'm ever going to read Cleopatra and Frankenstein, but I want to keep it at least until I decide if I'm going to read it or not. So it's staying on my TBR shelf. I read this book, An Apprenticeship or The Book of Pleasure, because I saw so much hype on TikTok and Instagram. I am not sure that I'm going to read anything else by this author. I kind of want to file it under like really pretty cover, not such a pretty book. Is that a fair category for this book? The entire bookshelf is now empty. We've got special editions, red, TBR. If it looks like a hot mess, it's because it is. So I'm now going to put all of the red books on the shelf. I should have been alphabetizing them while I was pulling them off the shelves. We're just gonna go. I'm not gonna do the top highest shelf because I can barely reach that. So I think I'm gonna start here and work my way down. I used to work at a library. I worked my way up from being like a shelfer, and then I was a clerk, and I worked there for quite a long time. So putting these on the shelf is really taking me back. I learned so much while working at the library, like why you never have your books all the way back against the back wall to keep it from molding, to keep the books, papers in good health. I have so many books. It's funny actually looking at this and realizing how many books I haven't read versus how many books I have read on my physical TBR, because I have read a lot of books, but I mostly read on my phone, and unless I really like the book, I don't feel a reason to buy the physical copy. We're keeping this, my annotated edition, out here with the red bookshelf, and then we're keeping all of the special editions of this book with the special edition shelf, even though this one is a special edition now because I've annotated it. This author, I haven't read Boy Parts because I'm really disgusted by kind of what goes on in the book, and I read these and I didn't like I don't like short stories, but I don't really like this stuff that goes on in it either, this book. What if all of my red books was only one shelf? Who would I be? Somebody financially responsible. All of these covers are going to be out here on the shelf. So I have the original paperback, and I also have the first edition hardcovers. The paperbacks are the copies that my parents read to me, and then I read to my younger sisters. They become more and more beat up. I will show you as I put them up. And then the first edition hardcovers, I thrifted those. They're in pristine condition. This special edition, it's the like director's cut of how they filmed the movies. I think I'm gonna put it out here. Only Murakami that I've read, but I have multiple of his other books. Sputnik Sweetheart, this is my favorite of his, out of the books I've read. One of the worst books I've ever read. I remember when I posted about this on TikTok and everyone was like, oh my god, I'll pay for this edition. I guess technically that could go on my special edition shelf if I liked the book, but I don't, so it's staying out here. Has anybody read this book and then read this book? Because this one was really good, and this one, not so much. Absolutely love this book, and I wish there were special editions of it because it's just my annotated version, but so it's going on the regular shelf. But if there were special editions of this book, I would buy it in a heartbeat. So in total, I think I'm gonna have 3 shelves of read books out here. I think what I've read is only gonna be 3 shelves, and then I'll have room. I'll be able to put on that bottom shelf, or I'll also be able to move up on the top shelf. My favorite cover. This is such a pretty cover, American Psycho. Also, I heard this was getting remade. I like the first movie. This one though. I know I said I didn't like Eliza Clark's other 2 books. This one was a good one. This is a crazy book. If you ever want one of those like taboo books, taboo as fuck. Also really love this cover of Metamorphosis. There are special editions of this book. I just don't own any. I just have this annotated multiple times cover. This was also a really good book. Another one of my favorite books, and I have a special edition that's going on the special edition shelf. I might actually have 3 shelves of read books. So here is Order of the Phoenix. Not too beat up, but the spine's definitely been read multiple times. Chamber of Secrets, once again, not too beat up, but a little bit. Deathly Hallows, a little bit beat up. This is The Goblet of Fire. It has definitely seen better days. Prisoner of Azkaban, not really beat up. And The Half-Blood Prince is unfortunately missing about 40 pages. So it's actually quite unreadable. But don't they look gorgeous? Like, I didn't really expect to have this many read books. When I'm like looking at it on the floor, it doesn't seem to fit this many shelves. I'm gonna have to start on the 3rd shelf. So we moved you down and me down. I never know how to split it because both of these are full, but I still have a lot of books to put on there. Now we're kind of cooking. Half, a little bit more than half, a little bit more than half. And I still got all of those. It's almost financially more responsible to just never buy books and only own like digital copies. But I love physical copies of books because I like looking at them because they're so pretty. I don't think this counts as a special edition because it's the only edition I own. So it's going on the shelf. Least favorite Donna Tartt book. Most of me facing the bookshelf is just saying the alphabet, just whispering A, B, C, D, E, F, G for all of the authors' last names. Wonderful memoir, and actually listened to it on audiobook, and I almost cried. So since I have 2 of these, should one of these be a special edition, or should I just have both of them out here? I love this author, love this book. Love this author, love this book. Love this author and this book, but I recently read this one and I think it was the translator they chose. Perhaps, I'm not sure. I just didn't, it wasn't as good. Still very poetic and wonderful and very true to the author's writing style. I just didn't like it as much. I'm not gonna say anything, but I'm nervous that I should have started up there because I'm rethinking everything. Like, I still have to put all the Twilight books on this shelf. Shit. I just read these 3. Oh my god, so good. You should read them if you like memoir, kind of like think piece essays almost. Very good. Okay, we're on the last couple of stacks here. We just have these. So I'm hoping that I don't know. I don't think it's all gonna fit. I'm gonna move it up. I'm gonna move the top shelf up. I'm pretty sure that's how it's gonna have to play out. I was hoping not to have to go up to that one because that one is so tall that I have to stand on my tippy toes to reach it. I think that should be fine because these are all read books and will I really be rereading them that much? the atrocious way I was just gripping my coffee. This is the correct way. Do you put Midnight Sun after Twilight because technically they're the same book? Or do you put it after Breaking Dawn because it was released after Breaking Dawn? I'm gonna put it after Twilight because it's the same book. Just Edward's point of view. It's also my favorite Twilight book on this shelf. I'm officially out of space and I can move down one more. And I also wanted to put some of the statues on the shelf. So my issue now is having to move all the books up there. Have y'all read this book? I loved this book. And look. Thank you, Kate Brody. I feel like this could go on my special editions bookshelf, but I'm gonna put it out here. This is my Sally Rooney arc for Intermezzo. I'm gonna put it out here because I have my other two Sally Rooney's out here. And then I have Beautiful World, Where Are You, which I have not read. It's going on my TBR shelf. This is also a really good Dawn's Heart book. This is my second out of her 3. These are all my TBR books. I've read some of them, like these, but I want to reread them. So I've put them in this. And now I'm going to load it onto my TBR shelf. And some of them are double, like those are 2 of the same book because I have the arc and that's a reread. And this is what we're working with for my finished shelves. I had 2 of these. I had my other one who's now on the floor, but I had that one there and that one there. And then I found some more books, so I had to take it down. I'm not sure. I wanted to add some of my other decorations, but I don't think it's gonna happen. This here is my last bookshelf. I don't know yet how I'm going to set up this one. What we're working with first and foremost is a bunch of different copies of The Secret History. I'm thinking to set up something like this so you get the full covers of all of it, and then my signed copy that I bought secondhand and my favorite edition, even though I got it really beat up. And then my annotated copy is out with the books that I've read. Next, I think, is going to be my first edition hardcover Harry Potter, and I'm just gonna put all of them into this middle shelf. I did read somewhere that it's not good for really thick hardcover books to be standing up because it damages their spine. I'm not 100% sure how true that is, but because these are so big, I wonder. Honestly, I like this much better than the other way that I had, so I'm gonna go with this. I think the next shelf is just gonna be like my favorites. Should I flip these? Yeah, that looks all right. I want this bookshelf to be as stable as possible because it's the IKEA Billy, I think, but I don't have it anchored into the wall because it's just me and I'm an adult, and if I was stupid enough to pull on this in a way that it fell on me, then it's probably my own fault. I have the special edition white Twilight books, including the short second life of Bree Tanner, Midnight Sun. And then next to that, I will put these 2. Eventually, when I get the rest of the series, that will go next to them. I wonder, since they're making the like animated version of Midnight Sun, if they're going to do a cover like this, but with the animated people on there. I'm interested to see that show. And then these are the other 2 special editions I have. This is the 10th anniversary of A Man Called Ove, so it's got like kind of a silvery cover, and then it's got the inner flap. And then I have this edition of the 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. It's got the rings. And then I feel like it's definitely missing something right here, so I want to see if I can find something to put in here. Okay, I'm gonna put And then just some other things, some of my crystals, my 2 little crystal cats I have. That is all of my building bookshelves, filming bookshelf content for the moment. Because I have so many physical TBR books, because I'm such a mood reader, I don't want to say I have to read this and then my brain is gonna just like shut down and I'm not gonna read it and then I'm gonna put myself in a reading slump. So 1 every 2 weeks, 2 a month is my goal for my physical TBR, because everything else I read online. I read on Libby. I hope you enjoyed watching me set them up and listening to me yap about absolutely nothing. Bye.